Let me start with something honest. For years, I said this word without really thinking about it. I said it to be polite. I said it out of habit. Yes, nothing ever happened until I started looking into something that genuinely made me rethink a lot of things. Today, in certain situations, your voice can be treated as sensitive data. Not always, not in every system, not in every country, but in enough real situations that it is worth understanding. When I first came across official warnings about the misuse of voice recordings, my reaction was simple. This cannot be that common. What I discovered later was more unsettling. It is not happening because people are careless. It is happening because technology makes it faster and easier in new ways. This video is not an accusation. It is not meant to scare you. And it is not a dramatic prediction. It is a clear explanation of a modern risk based on public information, documented examples, and simple habits that can reduce exposure. Most serious problems do not start with urgency. They start with normality, a short phone call, an unknown number, a calm voice asking a simple question. Can you hear me clearly? Is this you? Saying yes in that moment is not wrong. It is human. What matters is understanding that, according to public reports from the Federal Trade Commission, many phone-based fraud attempts begin with short interactions designed to collect simple confirmations, not long conversations. This does not mean every call has bad intentions. It means some calls are structured to collect reusable fragments. And here is something important. It is not just about the word. It is about the context in which it is recorded. Let me ask you something. How many times a day do we answer things without knowing exactly who is listening? For a long time, authorization was assumed to require clear and deliberate intent. In many cases, that is still true. However, regulatory agencies, such as the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, have warned that voice recordings can be misused when combined with other data obtained beforehand. It is important to be precise here. Not every institution uses voice as the only validation factor. Not every country operates the same way, but in some systems, voice is still part of the process. My personal view after reviewing these cases is simple. The problem is not people. The problem is using old habits in a new technological environment. This is not a foolish mistake. It is a logical one in a system that is still adapting. Let me ask you something directly. Have you ever thought of your voice as personal data that also deserves protection? One of the biggest changes in modern fraud is speed. In the past, many attacks required time and constant human interaction. Today, some processes can be partially automated. Public analysis from Europol explains that certain technologies have reduced the time needed to carry out social engineering-based fraud attempts. This does not mean everything happens in minutes. It means that in some cases, the reaction window is smaller. That is why prevention becomes more important than reaction. Alert systems exist, they work, and they continue to improve. But they were built to detect known patterns. New variations do not always fit those patterns right away. That is why, in some documented cases, detection happens after the process has already advanced, not because of neglect, but because of historical design. Think about this for a moment. How many tools do we use today that did not exist when current rules were created? There is a common belief. If something happens, someone else will take care of it. Reality is more complex. Organizations such as the Financial Ombudsman Service in the United Kingdom show that each situation is reviewed case by case. There are no automatic answers. There are no instant decisions. This is not criticism. It is a description of how the process works. From my point of view, relying entirely on any system, digital or human, has never been a good strategy. Prevention does not replace the system, it complements it. Understanding this does not create distrust, it creates judgment. Let me ask you something honestly. Would you rather rely only on processes or also on your own attention? There are no magic solutions here. There are habits. After studying this topic, I did not change my life. I changed small details. Today, I avoid giving automatic confirmations during unsolicited calls. I ask for context before continuing a conversation. And I prefer to initiate contact myself through official channels. According to aggregated data from the Federal Bureau of Investigation Internet Crime Complaint Center, these practices are associated with lower incident rates. They do not eliminate risk entirely, but they reduce it significantly. When you step outside the expected script, many scams simply stop. Let me know what you think. Does this sound exaggerated, or does it sound reasonable? It is very likely that in the coming years, validation systems will become more robust. Biometric tools will evolve, and regulations will adjust. That is already happening, but it is also likely that misuse attempts will continue to adapt, not because of inherent wrongdoing, but because value always attracts attention. The key is not fear, it is conscious adaptation. After all of this analysis, one thing became very clear to me. Modern security is not about living in constant distrust. It is about contextual awareness, about pausing, about asking questions, about not responding automatically. My final advice is simple and cautious. Treat your voice as valuable personal data, especially in interactions you did not initiate. And I want to close with a quote from Warren Buffett that, to me, fits perfectly here. Risk comes from not knowing what you are doing. Now you know a little more. And that knowledge changes how you choose to respond. If this video brought you value, subscribe to the channel. Here, we share content like this to help you stay informed and to prevent situations that could cause you to lose money. Subscribing is a simple way to stay up to date on new ways to protect yourself. And if you think this information could help someone else, share it. The right information at the right moment remains one of the most effective forms of protection.